Um, I think I think the problem that Marvel has now is that they're they're worried about they've lost the ability to make a good movie and a good MCU movie at the same time. And I think that Deadpool and Wolverine is a prime example of that. When you go back, I mean, because I haven't gone back and watched it again because I ain't paying for that shit right now.
Hmm.
But but um when you go back and you go through it and you look at the Easter eggs and you look at the spots and things into that and you're actually like looking at it instead of just hearing the jokes and stuff all the time, which I think is a distraction, like a writing distraction. Um it's a good movie, but it's a terrible MCU movie. That's what I think. That's my ultimate spoiler-free review of Deadpool and Wolverine is that it's a great movie to go see, take your older kids and family and have a good time and laugh at and watch Boom Boom Pow and Power Fantasy and Invincibility. But it's a terrible MCU movie, which I think is on purpose, but like not
Yeah.
they're like
Well, because Deadpool and Wolverine is a big fucking troll movie, right? Because and so from an MCU perspective, okay, I hear what you're saying. From a Deadpool franchise perspective, to me, it does not feel like a Deadpool movie, right? It
no.
feels completely different than Deadpool 1 and 2. I agree though, it's a good movie. It's really fun, but it is really it's about the shtick. It's about the angle. It's Wolverine and Deadpool. The story sucks. Straight sucks. Do I care? No, I still give this movie a 9. But at the same time, I can nitpick it because of me being a fan of the X-Men, not being a fan of Deadpool, but then the Deadpool movies becoming like my favorite comic book movies because they're like the best X-Men movies. But obviously, again, they've gone beyond that. And they're doing the whole Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine team up. And for that, I do appreciate it. I do love seeing Wolverine in that costume. They even showed him in the old brown and yellow costume. We even got him with the mask, kind of proving that, hey, you can do that. So I love all of that. So I agree it's a good movie and would give it a 9 out of 10.
They can do it, but it didn't make any sense. Like you had that as a hood the whole time? Like what were you doing with the metal part?
Yeah.
How did you just pull that out of the back of your neck like that? That's what I was thinking in the movie theater. I was like, "Oh man, did he just pull that out of his neck? Like, how, what what?"
Yeah, no, it's not strong on the making sense. That that's not it at all. Um, but I think universally, this is a successful movie, by far. And the reason it's successful to me is because it's about two characters that people care about. I'll just be
Right.
straight up with that. Um, but I do have okay, I guess I have a lot of nitpicks, but I do have actually two, I guess, legitimate complaints that I can say I'm actually making, not just because I have a bias. Number one is going to be the fact that the original cast, this original supporting cast, Colossus, Dopinder, Vanessa, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, like they're in the movie, but they're really not in the movie. And I think they helped made the Deadpool movies. I know he's an asshat in real life, but I'm missing T.J. Miller's Weasel. Again, I understand that he's not a good dude, but nonetheless miss that character. So, and that's what ultimately makes it not seem like a Deadpool movie to me, is that original supporting cast. Yeah, Blind Al's in it, sure. She's there to help make the cocaine jokes, but outside of that, it's just they're not there. Um, and then the other major complaint I have is that, again, spoiler alert, obviously we're in spoiler alerts, but at the end of the movie, where, okay, now all the supporting characters are back because they've saved that timeline. What was it? 10005 or whatever, some shit.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so they're back, and you have, and I know this is probably an X Men fanboy nitpick, but still, I think it's a major complaint. It just doesn't make sense. You've got Wolverine and Colossus in the same fucking room, and they don't even interact. Like, now again, another nitpick I have, but I'm gonna say this is X Men fanboy nitpick. But how is Colossus not like joined in the adventure? How did Deadpool be like, hey, we got to save this universe? Why don't you help me? Um, appreciate the endearing attitude toward my boy Colossus, but I want to see him in action. I wanted to see a fastball special. I mean, come on. Okay, with that said, um, cool movie. Story's
You
not
sound
great.
biased though.
I yeah.
I'm just playing. I'm just
I,
playing. I'm just playing.
there's a
I
big
mean, I'm
but,
not
but
playing, but I'm playing.
yeah.
I get what you're saying. I agree with you. I agree with you. But where I don't even say but. I agree with you. In the movie, it makes sense why they're not there for a couple of reasons. One, I think that would have caused an incursion,
Okay.
like
Okay.
using the rules
Mm-hmm.
of Marvel. Um, I think it's going to cause an incursion anyway.
Right. Right.
So there's that part of it. I think that a good part of I think it'll just be a gag. Like, oh look, this universe is dying too because Deadpool brought all these people that either died or you know shouldn't be here right now. And X-23 and Logan and da 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 da. So um, but the universe was about to die anyway. So he got pulled out of the time stream and was in the TVA. So there's that. But I mean nitpicky for me, um it didn't really make too much sense. And I'm upset that they have an excuse not to use where Secret Wars should go. Cause
Mm.
and because tying it back to all of this, I think that Secret Wars is going to be completely something completely different. Reason why I believe that is the 1984 is different than the 2000 and what was it 15, and
Yeah.
then I think this is going to be
There's one
different
in between
than
there
that.
too. There's one in between there
There's
too.
another one.
Yeah, there's Secret Wars 2, and then the last one,
Oh, there's
written
Secret
by
Wars 2.
Hickman.
Oh, there is Secret Wars 2,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a trope, it's a trope. It's just, well, hey, how do we get all our favorite heroes together? Secret Wars.
Yeah. So I ultimately think like my real prediction is we're gonna get a Secret Wars that we've never saw before, and I think that's if they're gonna do this desperate Robert Downey Jr. route, like I really need to want to punch Robert Downey Jr. in the face. Like
Mm-hmm. Okay.
you
Like,
have to go all the way, or you've literally wasted almost 20 years of our lives.
so he needs to go, Joffrey Baratheon levels of fuck shit.
Yeah.
Levels
No,
of
I
want
need
to
to
punch
see
in the
God
face.
Emperor, Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, Von Doom.
Okay.
I don't know how they're. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do it. He's
Yeah.
clearly gonna be a variant. I would like his mind to be stolen, but see, that's what I'm saying. If his mind is stolen, there's gonna be another big bad. So
But he also
they,
wouldn't be Victor Von Doom per se either. That might not be correct. So maybe they'll walk back on that.
well, I mean, in that arc, he wanted to be Victor Von Doom. You want to be Tony Stark so bad, all right? You fucked his name up. That's you live with that. I'm Victor Von Doom, and this is what I'm gonna do with this name. That's what that whole thing was about. Is ultimately it's not about what the name, it's about what you do with the name that you have. Is I like that. I like the demon in a series.
Okay.
Them story arcs are deep. That's why I fuck with the character. And realistically, you can only really do something like that with that type of character. So to me, that's where it seems plausible. I think that No, that's not going to work that way. He's just going to be a variant, and he's going to be bad, and they need to go all the way. If they cameo him,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Just give me some. Just I'm just going to roll with it. That's the only thing I can do right now. We're coming off of Deadpool Wolverine, a movie that doesn't really make any sense, but it was cool to watch and it was fun and it was hilarious and this, that, and the third. Um, um, getting into it in the meta sense, I don't think it really. I, I think it makes sense, but it's annoying how it made sense. Here's the reason why I say that. TVA isn't pruning. So what they're doing is they're letting the universe die naturally. How the universe dies naturally is by its anchor being dying.
They introduced the anchor being. Yep.
So
So isn't every universe
yeah,
eventually going to die unless their anchor being
yeah,
is Wolverine or
every
somebody that
universe
doesn't?
is. And so what's the point of the sacred timeline? Well, I don't.
Yeah.
I think we're just calling it the sacred timeline, but I don't even think it's the sacred timeline no more.
Yeah.
And we really don't really know how Loki's tree branch works.
Yeah. His
For
Yadra
real. Like
cell.
we have a
Yeah.
little bit of piece, a little piece of it. The little piece that we have is anchor beings. Okay, I got you. So new rule a little bit. We got anchor beings. How that's gonna play out, I don't know. I think that anchoring it is going to make it really stupid because the multiverse was fine being as complicated as it was because it made sense for the whole phase they used to set it up. So that made sense based off of what was going on. So now, okay, yeah, sure, the TVA is doing something else. You got God of Stories, Loki, and the tree branches, so the universes can do whatever, sure. But that also means that they can cause incursions.
Yeah. That could be very well the reason that we have, this particular storyline where God Doom has to come in and create Battle World.
Yeah.
And it could
So I
and
don't know,
it
man.
could make Deadpool make more sense. We so we might just
It's
need.
it's uh, it's all gonna tie. It's all gonna tie up. The Eternals is gonna make sense. Deadpool Wolverine's gonna make sense. Uh, Love and Thor: Love and Thunder is gonna make sense. I mean, and that's the thing I was thinking about this is like when we go back and we look at the totality of where we got and how we got here. Even the old so when the second Thor movie came out, that was the worst movie. That was the worst Marvel movie. And then Iron Man 3 came out, and that was like almost the worst Marvel movie. And then there's so much content right now that there really is just like Final Fantasy. There really isn't like a worst, and there really isn't like a best. There's like there's a that movie in this universe.
Yeah.
They all
What's
they're all like they're all their separate but contained thing. So like yeah, they can be bad, but like in the totality of what these two sagas are going to tell you, like that's just what the story was. It's the same thing with canon, it's the same thing with history, the same thing with Star Wars. Like we know what's going on, so you know, Secret Wars could be Robert Downey Jr. going for 2 hours, and that's what we got. So I mean, um, but I hope they know what they're doing. And as far as I was thinking about this when we're thinking about like breaking the fourth wall with Deadpool, and it's how it's that type of movie that um, just breaks continuity a little bit or whatever. But realistically, I think She-Hulk as a constructed whole did that better than Deadpool and Wolverine. Good movie. Good movie. I'm not saying it's bad. Go see it. Go pay to go see it. When it comes out, stream it all the time. It's hilarious. It's great. but it's a bad MCU movie. And as far as the MCU goes, She-Hulk did it better.
Let's talk about another aspect of Deadpool because I do agree. It's not a great MCU movie, but we both say it's good. So Deadpool and Wolverine, rather. I think I just said Deadpool 3, but Deadpool and Wolverine. So, we've all seen it. We don't need to go through the entire plot or anything. But let's fully transition here because there's a little bit of controversy here. And I just want to get your opinion because, I'm a cis white male heterosexual. Um, but I'm starting to see this on Twitter. Actually, the first notion I got of this was from somebody that was on the show before. I think it was House of D back then. But Chandler from X Reads podcast, he had tweeted that he liked Deadpool, but he didn't believe that the Wolverine and Deadpool movie, they didn't touch upon the fact that Deadpool is pansexual, so that the gay jokes, and there are a lot, are being a little bit derogatory. And that he wishes that, again, in the movie, it would be touched upon that Deadpool himself, is pansexual, so he's not making fun of the gays, that he is actually, feeling that way. And then after I saw that tweet, because I was like, um, I'm seeing more and more of that. So, you've talked about, civil rights a lot here on the show. What are your thoughts here as another observer? I just don't feel I've got a good gauge on it. I really didn't get this sense other than he's done a lot of gay jokes, but he is gay, so I knew that, right? Um, but I don't know. Just is there another perspective out there? What do you think of that? What do you think of that controversy that it should have been mentioned in the movie that he was gay, so that these gay jokes weren't seen as derogatory toward?
It, it's been implied since the first movie. Um, if you know anything about the character, it's built into the character. So what's already it's just like his face is scarred. It's the same thing. His face is scarred, and he'll fuck anything that moves. So um, it's implied. If you don't know that, then that's on you. I don't know why
Mm-hmm.
that needs to be outwardly said, even though it's outwardly said, and that's the point of the jokes. The point of the jokes is they're not jokes.
Right.
Like these
That
gay jokes,
these
like no,
actual
he'll suck your
thoughts.
dick.
Yeah.
You're like he's hot for some movie right now. If you don't know about the comics, this dude is after some Spider-Man pussy. So I don't know. I didn't. It's just one of those things where it's just like, if I sit there and be like, hey Don, like I'll fuck a porn star, like I would though.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
not a joke. It's a statement.
right. You know what I mean? Like I'll go to an Instagram influencer party and want to have sex with every girl in there because you know you probably would. So I'm like I'm joking, but I'm not joking. If given the opportunity, I would. So I don't know. I don't I didn't I found the jokes funny because they're jokes that aren't jokes, which is a good joke. Those are the best jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why, uh, uh, being able to. So it's one of those things where people say that, like, especially like with liberals, I can kind of understand, but they say the left, which is very nebulous because people don't understand the Overton window or what any of that stuff truly means anyway. But for what is colloquially called the left, people say that they can't take jokes. And the thing about it is like all the funniest comedians are the left. They're give me a conservative comedian that's funny, like actually funny, like actually funny, not just like I remember that joke when I was 3, funny, but like funny.
Right.
I don't really know of too many, because they try too hard. And the thing about it is when you are understanding and empathetic and welcoming and tolerant of others, you're able to get access to be able to do and see things that give you the humor that you have. That's why conservative humor is boring, because you have to be like a shut-in weird chud in order to get it. Like, I'm not racist, so like I don't what did that joke mean? I've watched a couple of breakdown videos of like the new animated shows that they kind of have or whatever, like Mr. Burcham, and I think I talked about it once before. Like, this is supposed to be an anti-woke show, and your main character is suspended from work because he pulled his penis out in front of students. Like, that's terrible. That none of that is
Yeah.
funny at all. And then so now you're gonna say like anti-woke jokes, like you're the predator. You're the thing that you're making fun of the left about. What is this? This isn't funny at like it's not funny because it's terrible. You know what I mean? And so when you're just like a person and like you live life and like you let people live life, things they do can become funny. And it makes it more funny when you're not a piece of shit. Like, that's the whole point of comedy. That's what makes comedy good. That's why everybody can't do it. Like, yeah, we can make jokes and things can tie in, and I can ha 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 make you laugh. But like a true comedian is very observant to the point where like you have to be truly tolerant in order for you to think of something ridiculous to joke about. That's the whole point. The whole point of it's a joke. So like when conservative comedians be like, and then the black guys steal, right? Like what? What?
Right.
Like like I get where you're like trying to make a joke, but you're not joking. You're making a statement sarcastically. Like if I was like, yeah, but the black people steal, right? The reason why it's funny is because I don't think that that's true, and that's what makes the joke the joke. So ha ha ha, depending on how the punchline would have come up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so I'd say that to say like that's Deadpool. Deadpool is the guy that gets to make the jokes because he will suck your dick. If that makes you uncomfortable, okay, then he'll eat your pussy. And if this is too much for YouTube, then I don't know. How do other people have channels and say worse? But I'm just saying at the end of the day, like that's what he'll do. So it's funny that he'll beat you with a bone and then treat it like a boner while he
Right.
kills you with it. Because if you were cool and the context was different, you probably could have had a good time with them. Like that's the joke. So I personally don't see it as a problem. I think that um especially the article that you have posted and I know that Daily Mail does this a lot, but like a lot of the places do it a lot where they like have an article, but like most of the article is just like a list of tweets and stuff.
Yes. Yes.
And um that's weird because you know 9 people aren't the world and Twitter isn't the world either, especially considering that like it's literally
The
just weird racist bots now. So
Sure.
um
The only reason I really gave this credence or even introduced it on the
yeah.
show today is because someone on my actual Twitter who I've talked to said this, and then I saw this and read all the tweets.
Yeah,
So
people fall for bots all the time.
yeah,
That's why they come onto our channel and make stupid comments about the acolyte. And that's why people go viral and plug into the hate algorithm by just following what the bots say, so the bots can control the narrative. I think some of this is bot driven, but and you weren't wrong for having it be a topic. I think that especially it coming from someone like me who's like, hey, we should be careful about how we present stuff. Like, yeah, we should be careful about how we present stuff, which also means that we can be able to get into themes by characters that are this theme. So like in Deadpool 2, the gay jokes that they were making were at the expense of the two gay characters who were happily being gay, and he was happy for them, and that's where his jokes were coming from, to be happy for the gay couple. And yeah, he was
Hmm.
making jokes, but they were like positive jokes. So what? And
Yeah.
I'm not even gay, and Hugh Jackman's abs in the final scene, or the final, part of the climax or whatever,
Yeah.
almost made, bro, the climax. I mean, listen, I'm not gay, but I can call a spade when it's thrown on the table. You feel me? And Hugh Jackman, listen, brother, I need your routine. I probably don't want to go through it, to be honest with you, because
I just
actually to
don't
get
think he
abs like that
eats.
is torture. Yeah, you don't eat, basically, and that's kind of the kick that I've been on. That's how I've lost the weight that I've
Oh,
lost.
sure.
Only eat once a day,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah. Fasting
And
works.
if I were to eat it a lot more lean, I probably could cut some more fat. And if I
Yeah.
worked out, then I probably could look like Hugh Jackman in a year. So maybe I should. But anyway, so it's just one of those things where, like, um, I think that the straight people that are being prudes need to stop being prudes, and then the gay people being prudes need to stop being prudes and and embrace. And this is one of those things where, if there would be a critique that I would have of my friends is, um it's something that I've said on here before, is that I want black media to get to a point where we can have stupid shows where we're like, man, that show sucks. And we are kind of getting there, because we are having that conversation about Tyler Perry. Finally, I don't know why it fucking took so long, but like, we're finally having that conversation about Tyler Perry in the community.
Mm.
And he called us out. Well, the people that think his movies are trash called, I'm a highbrow Negro. Did you know that, Don? I'm a highbrow Negro, a
Oh,
dude who
really?
will just watch a show and let it be what it is. But when I really need to call it a piece of shit, I'll call it a piece of shit. And Tyler Perry's stuff, I can get into it, and even when I get into it, it's just, I gotta think about it too much, and it's trash. Some movies are good, like the first Medea movie. uh I forgot what it was called, but the first Medea movie, when we got introduced to Medea on like a big screen level, I liked that one. But most of the rest of them I cannot stand. They are terrible. And he doesn't produce them or direct them very well. I mean, we want to talk about bad writing and bad acting and bad screen settings and costumes. A fucking Tyler Perry movie, bro. Them shits is trash. And
That's funny.
so, you know what? I say that saying, I'm proud that we've gotten to the point where there's enough black media for us to be able to not have to suck each and every single one of its dicks all the time when it comes out.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was getting sick of that shit, man, because not all of it is good. Like, that's what we got, Tubi and stuff. Like, like we learn in our craft, and we're getting there. And now we're getting to the point where, like, we have good stuff that we can see where the bad is. And it's the same thing with gay people. I think that they've been past the point where we've been able to call, um, some of the things that they have out bad, and it not be bigoted in any way. It's just a bad show. And it's just one of those ones where, these people felt the need, they needed to say that. And I'm not trying to take their opinion away. I just think that it's ultimately stupid when you really get into the character, and you really get into, considering that he breaks the fourth wall. You have to include his comic book origin and his comic book canon into this character, because it doesn't fit into anything. So who is he? Since we don't see him all the time, we in this case, we can just use his media to inform us of who he is. So he's a horny, perverted, loudmouth, perv who goes around murking people and doing what he wants, because he's Wade Winston Wilson. So that's what he do.
Now let
Deadpool.
me ask you, because that's certainly probably the biggest realist controversy, but there's certainly more controversy in the way this movie does a bit of trolling. Um, and to me, and I'd like your opinion if you have any other trolling moments, but to me, the movie opening with Deadpool using Logan's corpse as a weapon is just the ultimate troll. It's an Oscar-winning movie, and they're one level under skull fucking it. You
Yeah,
know, um,
yeah.
that was my like. There's a lot of trolls in here, but that's got, and I know that's the earliest one, but that's
Well,
got to
I
be the
mean,
favorite one.
so the thing about it is like that's the thing that I like about Deadpool, and the thing that's great about Deadpool, the thing that makes Deadpool works in the comics and the movies and the game, I don't think was very good for what I saw. But might give it a shot one of these days
Yeah.
because I'm bored and I want to play something stupid. But uh he that's what a troll is. Trolling is very smart and complex and meta and nuanced. It's not just being counterintuitive and annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's annoying and the reason why Wade's annoying isn't annoying and you have to deal with it is because he's right almost every single time, just in the most absurd way. And even when he's wrong, he's right because he'll just go into it because who cares? He's Deadpool. He don't give a fuck. Um, so yeah, they're gonna troll, and that is what I was looking for. I wanted to see their digs, so I like the, you're gonna be doing this until you're
To
90.
90, yeah.
Uh, that was a good one.
And then Kevin
You know,
Feige announced, like 2 days later, like, oh yeah, no, we're not in a hurry to recast Wolverine.
I think that's a troll too. Uh, so I like how Kevin Feige kind of plays into it. And that's why bringing this all back full circle, I think I'm just gonna roll with the Feigs and see what he brings us because I don't agree with getting rid of Jonathan Majors the way that they did. If they wanted to kill him off the way you do on a soap opera. Like you get him to a climax in the story and then you kill him off. And then you're almost at that climax. I wanted to see the Council of Kangs. I wanted to see what Ramatut did. I wanted to see what Immortus was going to do. I wanted to see, how if he who remains was going to come back. That you got me roped in. And because his girlfriend is weird, we lose that. And again, no condoning of violence. I mean, he does have like a misdemeanor, but the United States of America was not going to let a rich black man get away with allegedly putting his hands on a white woman and then be given a blockbuster film. And I don't say that of course it's going to be viewed as me saying it lightly, but I'm not saying that lightly. I'm saying that because like it's fucking true, man. I'm really sick of having to deny reality in order to play to people's ignorance. We know that's what it is. That's what it is. Um, whether people agree with it or not, that's a whole different conversation. But we know what it is, and that's what it is. That's the reason why Ezra Miller was able to keep his role and go to the red carpet and all that fucking shit. And that's why fucking Robert Downey Jr. was able to at least have the ability to play Tony Stark and do anything else that
But
he's
he
done
actually went to
afterwards.
prison.
Yeah, he actually went to. He was a fucking menace, bro. Like even as a kid, I was like, "Damn, Robert.
Yeah, you wilding
God
out, dude.
damn,
Shit.
man.
You just
Like,
doing anything.
yeah, like I know people do the little tooty toot sometime. Like, God, put that shit down, Robert.
Yeah,
Damn.
but in his case though, I will say they already made that gamble and won though, right? Because they gave him Iron Man and he destroyed it, and since then has had no
Because why
problems.
why why would that gamble win?
Well, because he didn't get any, he didn't go back to prison or cause any
Well, he
issues.
wasn't going to. He wasn't going to do that.
Yeah,
He wasn't going to do that. Robert Downey Jr. was a menace, but he's smart and he's a good actor. And to be honest with you, I'd rather act. I'd rather. I'd. I'd rather act and be normal and do the shit uh uh sporadically in moderation on the side.
Mm.
If he had to do what he had to do, than to be the fucking menace that Roberts was a menace, bruh. Okay?
Yeah, I
And he was a
remember.
menace when he was on trial too. Like, dude was yacked on trial, bruh. This dude was not fucking around with the cocaine back then, bro.
No,
Like, I would want to at least have been a fly on the wall
he
on
should have been in
some of them
Deadpool.
Hollywood parties.
He should have been in
Right,
Deadpool when they
right.
were talking
He would have
about.
been Deadpool in the 90s if they would have did it in the 90s.
Yeah,
90s Robert
yeah,
Downey Jr. would have been fucking
yeah.
Deadpool like a motherfucker. But again, it's one of those things where another one of those things where we worship celebrities. And that's the other part about it. Like making what Jonathan Majors was seemingly being set up to become, like that run, that 2023 run, bro, was setting him up for, and as an actor, if you pay attention to him, he deserves it. I I don't know of any actor like him. And you know, yeah, I'm
Hey,
mesmerized
I
almost every time
declared.
he's on screen, dude.
Sure. Yeah, I declared on this channel. You can go look. I think he just did it by myself though. But I declared he should have got an Oscar for Ant-Man,
Yeah.
Quantumania.
Fucking Loki. No, Loki.
Well,
He
that
who
too.
remains.
Yes, yes.
Bro, he who oh my god. Like I just watched it again recently and I just couldn't wait for that part. And as soon as he come, like everything, even with him playing with his nose, I like I'm picking up the cues and the rhythms and stuff like he's getting me
Yeah,
back into that acting spirit. You know what I mean? Just when I watch him, he just, and then when he was Victor Timely, the whole stuttering thing, like then he was the
yeah.
voices for,
He's
and then
good.
he was the
Yeah,
whole all the gangs.
yeah.
Then all the other stuff that he's been in. Oh man, and
He'll be
it really,
back. He'll be
it
back.
really was. Yeah. Oh, he'll definitely be back. I mean, there's no way. But it just really seemed like, oh, you gonna put your hands on a white girl? Oh, okay. We're gonna show you who you are. And everybody can swear up and down, oh, you're just making it racial, John. Shit's racial, guys. Sorry. Um, and you know that because the small audience that we have, I guarantee a majority of them are like, this motherfucker, here we go. You know what I'm saying? And um,
They know
you
what it
know,
is here.
and my thing and my biggest thing about that is like, okay, so who is it that you watch? And I'm sure that there's someone who's way more insufferable than I am. And the only reason why you would tolerate it is because you relate, and that's okay. Just be honest about it, and then while being honest about it, step out of your comfort zone a little bit. And I think that's ultimately what Disney probably should have done with the Jonathan Majors situation. I really think that they thought, and they fell for it, but I think that they thought the pretty princess was telling the truth, even though all the evidence was showing that she was weird. I mean, even the video where he was like, "Listen, I have an opportunity to do something for my community, and I need you to like act right." At that point, I probably just would have started. I mean, that's probably when he was starting fucking up somebody else. But like at that point, I would have just been like, I would have been fucking somebody else, and then like accidentally left my phone out and been like, "Oh, you caught me. Oh man, I guess we should probably break up now, huh?" But
Right.
I'm pretty sure he knew that she was gonna act like that. So
Yeah.
he was trying to do it slowly.
Be
And
cool.
ultimately the thing that got him caught up is he got caught in the first place. And that's why she was acting up in the car. So I mean, I get where he's coming from. He was trying to cut off his loose ends, and the loose ends ended up cutting him. And that sucks. And we are where we are. I love the MCU. I'm a rock with it. All the movies are great, even the Marvels, even Love and Thunder. They all have their own little space, and that's what the thing that pisses me off. Like, people want Thor to be a power fantasy, but like clearly he's more than that. So just enjoy seeing Thor on live action, and you still get the power fantasy. The power fantasy is in there. It's just mixed in with story arc and character development. The Marvels is good. Miss Marvel is good. Fucking She Hulk is the best. Tatiana Maslany. If you're probably not gonna call me now because I said your name wrong, but call me. Um, and it it's going to end great. I just need them to commit to Robert Downey Jr. and I need Robert Downey Jr. to show us I mean the accent's going to piss me off after a while, but show me a performance of a lifetime and send this franchise home.
So you talk about accents. Back to Deadpool, because that reminds me. Before we go, I want to know, because there was a lot of surprise cameos, right? Like we knew Daphne King was going to be in this one from the trailer.
Yes.
But there are.
Call me too, Daphne, please.
We
One
saw the Fox, or not all of them, but we saw the Fox X-Men villains in the trailer. Azazel, Pyro. Turns out Juggernaut's in this, but it wasn't Vinnie Jones. That pissed me off a little bit. Like they brought back some Fox characters, but didn't bring back the actors. I kind of get the Juggernaut thing a bit because he was a little bit integral to the story, but like everybody else though didn't even talk. They just showed him, and it's like, anyway, I digress.
They were just paying homage,
sure,
not giving reference.
But there were some actual characters, cameo characters, callbacks that we did not know about. And I just want to know which one's your favorite one. So I'll kind of list them.
So you segued right into it. The cameo of cameos in this whole movie was Chris Evans.
Okay, that was about to say. So Chris Evans is Johnny. By the way, I went to see the movie with a major Fantastic Four fan, and he's like, I don't give a fuck about Deadpool. This is my favorite movie because of the Human Torch. I didn't give a fuck.
Did he love when his skin got ripped off?
He thought it was, yeah. I mean, he's not a. Believe me, he about the whole RGJ thing about RDG Doom. He's like, I just want Doom. I don't care. It's just kind of what kind of Fantastic Four.
Coming regardless. Why are we playing this game? Why are we doing this?
Right.
He was going to be in the goddamn MCU regardless. They just gave up who the actor is going to be way too early, which is scaring me.
But yeah, you talked about accents, which reminded me of this. So I didn't care about the Elektra. I was very surprised by the Elektra being Jennifer Garner Elektra being in this, but okay. Channing Tatum as Gambit never actually happened. He's in this fucking movie. Sucks that he doesn't actually have the black eyes with the red pupils. That kind of brings me out of a little bit. But his accent is horrid. This is a bit of a troll on this movie because this kind of shows us why we're really glad this movie never happened. Channing Tatum does not look good as Gambit. He's got way too chubby cheeks. He's way too. I mean, and maybe it's just because this is a joke part that he didn't care. But boy, am I glad that movie didn't come out. Cool action scene though.
Well, it was supposed to come out
long time ago.
It was supposed to come out 15 years ago when he was like in his late 20s still. So
yeah,
there's that. And then I think the accent had to have been done on purpose.
Possibly.
There's no way that there's no way.
I mean, they gave us good Gambit way. Boom Boom Pow.
I don't know what I was gonna say. Yeah. There's just no way. It was pretty bad.
But that doesn't matter because your MVP was Chris Evans as
because the Boston accent, even though it's annoying, I mean the way they pull
he does it well.
Together.
Yeah,
I mean he's a Bostonian, so yeah, he better do it well.
But to me, the MVP, fucking Wesley Snipes Blade, man. I'm pretty sure I'm going to boycott the Blade movie with the new actor. I'm obsessed, dude. Probably more than I should be. I loved him. in this fucking movie as Blade. I thought it
I
was
think he was cool.
hilarious.
He really is. He's really old,
My
so that
favorite
sucks.
line, motherfuckers always want to ice skate uphill. He said it. Like, I
Yeah,
get it. He did the thing. That's what, and
he did the
I
thing.
know. I
It
take
was the
that
ooh,
bait every time.
baby.
I take that motherfucking bait straight to the lips every time. I know this
Yeah,
of myself, so I'm being honest.
right.
But boy, oh, I loved it, man. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want another Blade. I
No,
don't
I
want another Blade. I want Wesley Snipes.
I think
Marshall
my
Ali,
next
I'm sure
one.
he's great, but
I think my next one. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be great too. I'm not really into Blade, but it is. I think after this much time, it is gonna be hard to top him. But then at the end of the day, there needs to be a spinoff. Like there needs to be another one
I'd love to see
that carries the
Blade in the
mantle.
Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, that'd
that
be dope. They do
works.
definitely need to do a Midnight Suns. That'd be actually pretty cool.
But,
But
you know,
my other cameo would have to be Gordon Reynolds. It was nice Deadpool.
oh,
His
right.
fake,
Yes,
his
he
fake
was
twin. His fake
right.
twin.
And of course,
But
what was it Matthew
nice.
McConaughey is the cowboy Deadpool, if I'm remembering
Yeah,
correctly.
nice Deadpool. I like nice Deadpool.
Nice pool,
He was
yeah.
pretty cool.
But
Really,
he didn't
really, really.
regenerate though.
Yeah, he was really moist though, but it was kind of refreshing. Like he will kill you, but like
Yeah.
be nice about it. I like
Yeah.
that one.
All right. So there you go. I mean, I think we're pretty aligned though. I think we both agree the story is meh, mid. You don't think it's a good
Yeah,
MCU
terrible story.
movie. I don't think it's
No.
a good Deadpool movie, but is it a good Deadpool and Wolverine movie? Absolutely. And what it ultimately turns out to be, that we, through the cameos and whatnot, as the end credits roll, you're basically seeing all sorts of like outtakes and shit from all the Fox movies.
Right.
So this was ultimately, which goes to what you're saying, it's not a good MCU movie because this is ultimately a send off, a tribute, what have you, to the Fox
Yeah, it
superhero
was
universe.
it was multiple movies at one time. It was a tribute to 20th Century Fox. It was an introduction to MCU. It was the end of the Deadpool original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was a multiverse movie, which is probably going to cause an incursion. It was a lot of movies all at one time, and I think again, should be a lesson to fans of the franchise is that even though the second Thor movie was bad, it was good. It was a good movie. It just was a bad Thor MCU movie. Iron Man 3 is a good movie. It's just a fucking terrible MCU movie when you think about who the Mandarin was supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
and all that kind of stuff like that. That's what the problem is. But when you actually just watch Iron Man 3 for Iron Man 3, it's actually a pretty good movie. Same thing with Love and Thunder. Same thing with any of the other movies that you think is bad. I'm actually about to put Ant-Man on right now because I want to see my boy Jonathan. Um, and when you do that, that's how you can, deal with it. It's the same thing with Star Wars. Acolyte may not have been your favorite show. Okay, sure. But it may not have been a good show to you, but it was a good Star Wars story. And that's the part about it that people don't understand. And because I think it was a good Star Wars story, I think that's what made it a good show. But Empire Strikes Back is a great Star Wars story. To me, it's a fucking shitty movie that I cannot get through. I cannot stand up. I hate that movie.
Oh.
I hate Empire Strikes Back. I hate it. It's the worst one of like I will watch Force Awakens, The Last Jedi for 24 hours straight before I watch The Empire
Or you
Strikes Back
get
one more
through.
time. I can't do it. And so if people were to do that, I think that they would be able to enjoy these a little bit more. I had fun enjoying the movie for what it was, but then when I got out the movie, I was like, "Damn, that movie fucking sucked as an MCU movie."
Yeah.
Damn, that joke was funny though.
It
90
did
years
90
old.
years, yeah. Um it so yeah, I appreciate this movie actually, and I didn't expect this. But one thing it did kind of make me appreciate, because I do talk trash about the Fox X-Men movies. Not all of them, but I sue
There's that.
this did
Kobe, like
as I'm
long
watching,
distance, throw it in a trash can. Trash.
but but here's the thing. As I watch this montage of young Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, and all the X-Men shit, it really did make me think. Again, there's a lot to talk trash about, and particularly with X3. I actually liked Wolverine Origins up until they took away Deadpool's mouth.
Yeah,
Um, you know,
ruined the
so
whole fucking movie.
there's a lot not to like about the X-Men Fox universe or the Foxverse in general. But I got to give it credit, because other than Blade, this was the foundation of superhero movies. The X-Men movie. You said, well, now Blade, as I just mentioned, as I just acknowledged, Blade came first, but come on. Blade 1 was a vampire movie in the 1990s that he wore monochromatic trench coat. Okay? Come on. Matrix, you can't go wrong with vampires in the 1990s, early 2000s. You
What
just
is up
couldn't.
with y'all in trench coats? Like, can you explain that to me? Is that like, did I miss that in
I
school?
okay.
Like,
Me personally, people,
talk,
because
talk about it.
okay, I will, because I can go get it right now. I've owned it since like 2003. A black leather trench coat. Okay, I thought it was the
Yeah.
coolest motherfucking thing ever when I went over to Wilson's Leather and laid 5 bennies down on this fucking leather trench coat. Now,
Wow.
I don't really wear it because my wife's like, "No, you are not."
Oh, I
Um,
was gonna say, did it get you laid?
no.
No. No.
I don't think so. But people would
No.
always accuse me, oh, Matrix, Matrix, and I'm like, no. The real reason I always wanted a trench coat, there's 2 reasons: The Crow and Blade.
Okay. I mean,
Okay,
listen,
I
I
wasn't part
get
of the
where
trench
you're
coat
coming
mafia
from.
back then, because I'm not part of Columbine. I was never glorifying that.
Right, right. No, no, no. I'm not looking at it that way. I mean, I guess I did
They
ask
did
it,
back
but
then. They
no,
did back
I can
then.
see I can see where you got that from. But even adding them, I wasn't even thinking about them. But like adding them, like what is up with the trench coat? I don't get it.
Because you
But
can't wear a cape.
maybe it's like Jordans
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I just thought it looked cool. I
or like
honestly,
Jabol jeans.
yeah. It's just like you have Sephiroth, he's got like a trench coat thing going. The
Yeah.
Undertaker, just all the cool people I liked had trench coats.
Like listen, the aesthetic, dope,
Right.
but I just don't get it.
But after paying 5 pennies for it, like, I believe me, I did not wear it much because it was
Mm.
like, I wore it into work one day, maybe about 8 years ago. And I remember tomorrow, I'm like,
Listen,
whoa, sir.
listen, I got one. I got one. One day when the kids is gone, it's you and the wife. Just trench coat that mug. Just
Yeah, a
and
flasher.
then yeah, and see if you can make a night out of the trench coat and really put that $500 to use.
Right.
Try
I
it.
I
It might
will.
take a while.
I
It might
will.
take a while.
Yeah.
You let me know.
I'll let you know how it goes. Probably not well. But hey, what you gonna do? All
I had
right.
to
Well,
sleep on the couch.
yeah.
She
Had
kicked me
to,
out.
had to sleep on the dog bed. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I ain't doing that. My bed's $3,000 fucking because my back's fucked up. So I made sure and bought one of those
So you got you a
self-adjusting beds.
posturepedic.
It's not a posturepedic. It's
Oh,
because it's not memory foam. It's an air. I can't believe I can't remember. Basically, when I roll around and shit, though, it'll adjust the air levels and shit under
Plus
me.
to you. I see. All right, all
Like
right.
it don't fuck around. You can.
Yeah, I think I might need to get something like that too, man. I'm getting a sciatic nerve on my hip all the time,
That's
boy.
exactly. That's exactly.
And I'll
Now,
be
don't get me
waking up in the
wrong.
morning like, I
Uh
gotta
huh.
get this. Ooh, I just popped it right now. Actually, that felt good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Sleep
Ah,
sleep number. That's it. Sleep number. So like
sleep
me,
number.
sleep.
Yeah, yeah,
Me
yeah.
and my wife have
That's
different levels
that's
of
the new
firmness.
Posturepedic. See, that's some
Yeah.
90s shit. See,
Yeah.
we old.
We old indeed.
We old, man.
Speaking of which, my bedtime's approaching. So I think that's about it as far as Deadpool and new Doom that we're gonna get. So I always forget to say this, but please let us know what you think down in the comments below. Do you like the announcement with Robert Downey Jr. being Doom? What did you think of Deadpool movie? What do you think about the controversy we mentioned? And if you could please like and subscribe to the video, that would help us out so very much. Until next time, we'll see ya on the next Omega Level Nerds.